Hey everyone, how's it going? Back at ya with another video. I hope you guys all had an amazing day. Today we're going to be going over some scary stories in the Short Scary Stories Reddit. So grab your pillow and blankie and your warm baba, cuddle up with some you love, and get ready to get scared. Our other basement. Our house has two basements, one under the other. The lower one's a secret, but Pa told me all about it. I ain't never seen it now, but Pa says it's where he keeps the shine. I ain't never seen a jug of that either, but it's probably the best I don't. That way I'd have plausible deniability if the law ever came around. The law's arrival, that's what Pa says. He says if they found out what was in the basement, the one under the normal one, our whole world would come crashing down. I don't want no trouble for Pa, but the secret I ain't never been good at keeping him. Pa only told me about the moonshine on account of me hearing screams below when I was in the top basement searching for my file for the chainsaw. Pa said it was Uncle Ralph cutting his hand on a broken jug. I like Ralph. He's a generous sort and modest to boot. When we started getting new horses at their house, Pa said it was Ralph who gave 'em. Now Ralph, he don't want no thanks or nothing, so he told me that he ain't had them horses making their way to our possession. Pa must be using them horses right too. Every time he gets a new one, I hear another voice in the secret basement. More employees for the shine business, I guess. Pa's awful smart. There's a horse trail that passes right through our land. With him taking the shine by horse, the law would never suspect a thing. Well, they wouldn't have, but like I said, I ain't never been too good at keeping at secrets. I only told my best friends about the secret basement, just little Paul, Era, Blanton, and Eddie. I was proud of my Pa. We weren't just a mechanic. He was a bona fide outlaw tycoon. One of them three must have told, 'cause 2 weeks later we had a whole mess of law men at our house. I remember exactly what Pa said to him, 'cause it put a wrinkle in my brow. Y'all don't understand, they ain't what they seem. Take me to jail. I'll confess to whatever you want, but whatever you do, do not let them free. I never seen my Pa so scared before, but them lawmen didn't listen. I seen them bring up 4 men from the secret basement, a torture dungeon, the lawmen called it. Right off they pegged my Pa for a murderer, asked him where the bodies were. Screamed at him. Pa just looked at the 4 men with a real wide-eyed look, and then, a shiver in his voice, he said, "The bodies are all around us." That was that. They took Pa away, and each of them, 4 men, stole one of our horses. The white one, the red one, and the black and pale one. Ooh, pretty spooky. Do you guys like my accent? I've never practiced it, so I'm pretty bad. That was pretty scary, I have to admit. Good job, you decorative gentlemen. Good job on that one. That was really good. She did it. The week after my 5th birthday, I lost my first tooth. I was so excited when my mom told me to put it under my pillow. She said the tooth fairy would come and give me candy for it. The next morning, Mom said she came into my bedroom last night to see if I had left my tooth out, and asked her why she didn't find one. I didn't get it, I told her. I did. She left me some candy. As I scarfed down the last bite of my Fruit Loops, I ran upstairs to get ready for school. I moved so quickly I almost didn't notice the confused look on her face. I'm glad my mom didn't come into my room earlier last night, because after she took my tooth and gave me some Sour Patch Kids, the tooth fairy told me that if I brought her more teeth, she'd give me all the candy I could eat. She said that people don't like to give away their teeth because they want all the candy for themselves, and that they should share. All I had to do is put a special medicine in their drink that will make them sleep so she could get their teeth. Then I could have all the candy for being such a good little helper. She said it would be our little secret. That night I put the special medicine in my daddy's bear, mommy's wine, and my little brother's apple juice. I was so excited I almost couldn't sleep. I don't even remember the tooth fairy coming in. The police took me to some place called the asylum after our Aunt Lucille came to the house the next morning and found my parents and their brother dead in their beds. They said their teeth and tongues had been ripped out, and they had bled to death. The police asked me where the teeth were and what I did with them, why my parents and why'd I do it all. I kept telling them that she did it and asking them where my candy was. That was 10 years ago. She still comes and visits me all the time, though I don't want to talk to her. They say I'm not supposed to. The only way to get her to go away is to give her teeth, so I tell them, but they don't want to listen. So I just give her mine. If I pull and twist a little every day, they come out easily enough. I don't have many left now. I hope she stops soon. Wow, that is a creepy story. That is short, but creepy. This girl with schizophrenia kills her family for candy. Sad. Scary. I hope you guys aren't getting too scared of these stories. Let's keep going. Land of missing heads. I take a peek from my spot in the broom closet. I crawl out to grab a couple more hot dogs from the rotisserie and head back into the closet, making sure to leave the door unlocked behind me. I grab the notebook I had found alongside an old revolver under the register and rip out all the pages already covered in transactions. I bite one of the bunless hot dogs and start writing down everything that's happened to me since 6 days ago. Page 1. My best guess is that the world ended, assuming this is localized, 6 days ago, March 15th, 2025. During my shift at Gomar, everyone inside stopped talking in the shopping and started walking into the streets. I tried stopping a couple of the customers from leaving without paying, but one of the women I had tried to stop shoved me into the counter and broke my back. When they all made it outside, they stopped moving and I looked up, wiggling their heads in circles, and I noticed hundreds of people outside joining in and started recording on my phone. Their heads lowered down to their shoulders until I couldn't see their necks anymore. When the wiggling stopped, furried pointed limbs emerged from under their chins. Page 2. I want to apologize to whoever reads this, but I miss whatever happened next while I crawled into the broom closet. I still have the video. So if you can manage to charge the phone I have hidden it behind the bucket in the closet, you'll have access to the footage. A couple hours later, and after listening to confirm the store was empty, I went to check things out again. What I could already see from opening the door was a lot to take in. No one outside had their heads anymore, not any of the hundreds I saw. They remained upright and stood perfectly in place. I made a couple more videos of them doing so on my phone. From the window I gained a good vantage of the sky, which the remaining videos consist of. While light shone through it, the mass structure of webs above the buildings created a ceiling that blocked the view of anything behind it. This is where the missing heads were, millions of them crawling up across the sky. I think I can see cocoons or something up there too. From then, the bodies I'm aware are as follows. That the bodies don't react to people unless you try to move them, and rarely switch locations themselves. That the heads only come down at night or when a body is touched. Do not throw things. That they're increasing. I hope this small amount of information helps future historians if you exist, and I apologize if my bones disturb you. I'm planning on dying here. James Dill. I tuck the notebook into a Ziploc bag. I crawl into the corner and put the gun in. Ooh. I don't like those kind of stories. Not good. My stroll along the sidewalk. "Help me, I'm sinking," said the young woman who I passed on the sidewalk. She seemed to be struggling to balance, shakily waving her arms as if she were surfing. I looked down to her feet, which seemed to be resting atop the concrete just fine. "Didn't you hear me?" the young woman yelled. "Don't just stand there, save me." I shrugged and mumbled some dumb apology, then headed on my way. I passed a middle-aged lady a little further along who seemed hysterical. "I'm melting," she sobbed. "Please help me, I'm melting away." I glanced at her up and down, but saw no sign of any deterioration. Just a woman stood on the sidewalk. I gestured that I needed to leave and headed on my way. "I'm burning! Oh, please help me, I'm burning!" cried a very elderly lady a little further along. I wondered if everyone had lost their minds that day. "Didn't you hear that I'm burning?" She frenetically begged, but I had nothing to say. I couldn't see what she meant. Just another crazy lady. I walked on, wondering which phantom predicament I'd encounter next in this ridiculous life of liars. To my surprise, I then passed the sinking young woman again, or what was left of her. Only her eyes and nose were still above the asphalt. She looked up at me with what could be fury, or could just easily be fear. A little further along, I passed a pink puddle of messy flesh, and guessed that this was what's left of the melting middle-aged lady. Her eyes bobbed atop the gloop, and as one slowly rotated up to face me, so to speak, she seemed to communicate what could be fury, or just could easily be fear. I wasn't surprised at all to find a little further down the sidewalk a frazzled skeleton, which was once an old lady. It turned and spoke to me as I passed by. It cursed a blue streak, spat with what could be fury, or could just as easily be fear. But it was only its few final words which hit home. "You never cease suffering, so long as you do not suffer. That is why you belong here, my new friend." And though you wouldn't know it, to look at me, I felt exactly like I was dissolving. Ooh, that's a good one. That makes you think, doesn't it? Anyways, this is a weird type of video, I know. I think it's actually pretty fun reading these, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I didn't know how much I'd enjoy doing this, but I might just stick to scary stories. Who knows? Hopefully I get more views, though. If there's ever something in social media that's trending, any drama, I might move to that, but for now I might just do these scary stories. Thank you to all the simps on Reddit for posting these. I really appreciate it. Anyways, I love you guys so much. See ya. Subscribe, like, turn on notification bell. Okay, bye. Love you.